Okay, so we are going to talk about reflections today. And your learning target, you can reflect shapes across a given line of symmetry. That's what you're going to be able to do today. So a reflection is a transformation of a figure over a line of symmetry. In a line of symmetry, what I mean by a line of symmetry is that's where they are equally apart from. So what I would write here, it's where things are equidistant from. So reflections are really points that are equal distance from a line of symmetry. Okay, so if you are looking, so we have everything we need. This is from our translation unit, being able to name the geometric shapes. Notice that I have triangle ABC and triangle A prime, B prime, C prime. What I'm expecting you to be able to do is know that the one that does not have the apostrophe, the prime symbol, is where we started. And then I reflected this, and the reflected image has the prime symbols, A prime, B prime, C prime. Notice that my line of symmetry is the y-axis, and what you can envision if you reflect, imagine flipping it across that. And if you can, some of your eyes are really good at being able to flip things across. I've never been that great at being able to visually. I always get in my head and think I'm doing it wrong, but you flip it across that line and it should match well. But that's tricky. The nice thing, what defines reflections, is that they are equidistant, which means equally distant from the line of symmetry. Notice that C is 2 away from the line of symmetry, and notice C prime is also 2 away from the line of symmetry. Notice B, 3 away from the line of symmetry, and the new B, B prime, is also 3 away from the line of symmetry. And A is 1, 2, 3, and 4 away from the line of symmetry. So you got that right. A prime is also going to be 4 away from the line of symmetry. And hopefully you can envision what would go right through the middle to create that line of symmetry. Okay, so here's how we are going to do reflections. You're going to determine how far away from the line of symmetry a point is. So I'm talking about points or vertices, because we're talking about geometric regions. So it would be a vertex. It'd be a point on the shape. I don't know what the heck I don't know why I have that. I would just turn this to, then you plot new points that are equidistant from the line of symmetry. And that's how you do it. I mean, it's nicer than translation almost, because you don't have to move as much. You just identify the line of symmetry and then create your new points that are equidistant from that line of symmetry. Okay, let's apply this. So let's draw triangle PQR. It has the vertices, -1, 3, 1, 6, 4, 5. And I want to identify what are the new vertices of the image when I reflect it over the x-axis. So the first thing you need to do right now is plot your pre-image. Okay, now that I have my pre-image plotted, triangle PQR, I am going to plot my reflected image. What I would suggest is if you have a highlighter, I would use your highlighter because kids mess up where their line of symmetry is. For example, I am going to reflect it over the x-axis. So what I'm going to do is highlight my x-axis, and I'm telling my eyes, hey, that's what I'm looking at. That's the line of symmetry. That's why highlighting is really nice, because then your eyes never question where to go. This makes your eyes look at it and be like, oh, that's what I'm comparing it to. You can start at any point, doesn't matter which one. And I will do green. P, how far away is P from my line of symmetry? 3. 3 points, 1, 2, 3. So guess how far away P prime needs to be? 3 away in the opposite direction. So I'm going to be 3 down from my line of symmetry. Call this P prime. Q is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 away from the x-axis. So Q prime needs to be 6 away in the opposite direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Remember to label them. That's part of your learning standard that you know to make them prime when you make new ones. And then I have R is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So R prime is going to be 5 away in the opposite direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I have my reflected image. Mine's a little messier because my line looks weird. Now what you can do though is just double check your work. Imagine if I were to grab this and flip this along the x-axis, does it look like it would match up? Mine does. However, that's not our only learning standard. And I'm not going to tell you a pattern, but I am going to tell you that there is one. And today you're going to have to figure out what the pattern is, and then you're going to have to apply it on the back side of your homework. It says, what are the new vertices? So I want to know what are the vertices of my new prime image. P prime is x is -1, y is -3. Q prime, x is 1, y is -6. R prime, x is 4, and y is -5. And there is a relationship between the original points, P, Q, R, and the reflected points, P prime, Q prime, R prime. Okay, I went ahead and plotted my next triangle, pre-image, triangle ABC. Now I'm going to take triangle ABC and I'm going to reflect it the way it wants me to. The first one says reflect it on the x-axis. So I take my highlighter and I highlight the x-axis, so I know that that's what I am reflecting it across. So try to envision flipping it around this line. And don't worry if your eyes don't love flipping. There's a nice logarithm for it. So how far away is A from the x-axis? 0. So A prime shares the same spot with A. A prime is 0 away. How far away is point B from the x-axis? 1, 2, 3. So B prime is going to be 3 away in the opposite direction. 1, 2, 3. There's B prime. And then how far away is C from the x-axis? 1. C prime is 1 away the opposite direction. So here is my reflected image. Imagine reflecting it if your eyes let you do that kind of stuff. So there's that one. Now I need to reflect it over the y-axis. Go back to the original. Don't reflect this one. Just go back to the original one. Go ahead and highlight. So I'm going to highlight my y-axis so my eyes know, hey eyes, that's what I'm looking at. Don't worry about anything else but that line of symmetry, the y-axis. And then I will plot it with, I'll do what? Okay, so going back to my red pre-image, how far away is my point A from the y-axis? Tell me. 1, 2, 3. So A prime is going to be 1, 2, 3 away in the opposite direction. Just kidding, it's a double prime because it's my second and 1. How far away is B from the line of symmetry? 2. So B double prime is going to be 2 away in the opposite direction. C is 5 away from the y-axis. So C double prime is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away in the opposite direction. And then you connect them and you try to let your eyes envision if I were to flip this, does it look like they would match? And it sure does to me. Okay? And that's your learning target for today.